Welcome back, gorgeous. Glad you could join me again. In today's episode, I'd like to share a client breakthrough I had from a recent session.
Awesome. Do you want to tell me a little about your client and what she wanted to talk about during the session?
Yeah. So she's just a gorgeous client. And first of all, I want to say I have their permission to share the story. I won't be sharing any identifying details anyway, but I do have the permission. So I've been working with this gorgeous client for quite a while, and by her own admission, life is going great, except for this one area that she came to me with. And she was feeling really down about it. She's got a teenage son, and I'm sure those of you that have teenagers, as I have a teenage daughter, will be able to really empathise and identify with how hard it can be to parent a teenager at times. And so with her teenage son, she was just feeling that he was not showing up at all as his best self. And so she said to me, he's really he's having these violent, angry episodes. He is not doing as well as he could be at school. She doesn't feel he's treating his friends with the respect that they deserve. And she actually said to me, I feel like he is throwing his life away. He is wasting his potential.
Right. So how did you guide her through that problem then?
So I heard a lot of emotion, understandably, in what she was sharing with me. And so I thought, right, we need to separate the feelings from the facts. So I said to her, okay, let's imagine we were actually writing an evidence report of what we can see your son is doing. How is he behaving? And what would be observed. So she started by saying, well, I feel that. And I said, no, that's exactly where that's your perception. We're going to do not your perception or your feelings, but actually what can we see? So for example, has he started, how had his grades at school been dropping, or has he been failing subjects? She's like, well, no, actually, that's not happening. He's doing well at school. In fact, his teachers are really happy with how he's going. And he is, in fact, he's working at a subject level above in one of his subjects, a year level above. And I'm like, okay, so school actually is going all right. What about the friends piece you're telling me about? Has he been losing friendships? She said, no. Actually, he's got a great group of friends. Okay, so what about outside of that? You know, his moods and sport, and I explained lots of sport, and yeah, no, and she just started to laugh, and I'm like, what are you seeing? And she goes, well, I'm seeing what other people might be seeing, like the teachers and his friends, and the fact that he's actually pretty awesome. And maybe it's about me shifting my thinking and my perspective. And I said, yeah, well, let's have a look at that for a minute, because how do you think it is for him? And not making you wrong at all, because I get how hard it was to parent a teenager. And so not making you wrong at all, but just holding the space of how it would be for him to be inside the energy of your perspective being he's throwing his life away and he's wasting his potential and he's just not showing up as the kind human that I know he's capable of being. And she's like, yeah, well, I guess it would feel to him like I'm just constantly nagging at him or disappointed with him, and that wouldn't feel that great. I'm like, okay, so this is about shifting your thinking around it and what might be possible if you were able to do that.
So long story short, we worked on shifting her thinking, what would be a new perspective she could take, and a simple mantra that she could hold on to when the times were tough. And so the mantra we created together with a bit of brainstorming was, he's showing up really well in the world. So in the moments where he's not showing up so well at home, which I think is parents of teenagers, I know I can certainly identify and empathise with that. But most importantly, he's showing up really well in the world.
That's awesome. And so, what has her experience been since implementing the mantra and the key takeaways she took from her breakthrough?
Well, I got this beautiful text from her actually, and I'm going to read it to you. Hey, I think our last session has been life-changing. I feel totally different, and son's name is acting totally different. Wow, my mindset change is changing everything. So I think that is so cool. It was her shifting her perspective, her mindset had a complete knock-on effect to the whole situation at home. She's happier, he's happier, the family dynamic is smoother, and it has been all down to her mindset.
Wow, that's awesome. So, for the people tuning in today, what can their key takeaways be from this story?
So I think it is looking at when an area is not going well for ourselves, what is our mindset in the area? What are we actually thinking and feeling? And separating that out from what's going on actually. Like, what are the facts? How are we feeling about it? And what would a different mindset look like? What would be a different perspective that we could take? And would that potentially create some shift in the situation? So sometimes it is as simple as shifting our own perspective, reframe our situation. Other times it's about going, how do I want this to look differently? I need to take some different action. So is it about mindset? Is it about action? And so thank you for joining me today. I've certainly had fun relaying the story of my gorgeous client to you. And thank you to my client for allowing me permission to share it with you. If we can have changed one other perspective just by sharing her breakthrough, then it's absolutely worth it. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.